Welcome everyone, and in today's video lesson we're going to have a general overview of diminished scales. Diminished scales are kind of an interesting breed of scales, so I just wanted to spend some time really kind of hammering home what they're about, kind of a 10,000 foot view. Let's kind of dig in. The first and foremost thing that we want to understand about diminished scales is that they are considered to be octatonic. Okay, so up until this point we've discussed heptatonic, hexatonic, pentatonic. Now we have octatonic, and so octa meaning they're going to have 8 notes. The next thing that's interesting about diminished scales is they are a class of scales that are known as symmetric scales. Symmetric scales means that they can be inverted. You can, take something and flip it any direction that you want, and you're going to still end up with the same scale. And we're going to learn more about that later. The diminished scale is actually divided into 2 modes, and you can build it using half whole. You can use the half whole model. The other model that you can use would be the whole half model. The whole half model is also known as fully diminished. It's known as the fully diminished scale, while the whole half model is going to be also known as the dominant diminished scale. Diminished scale. And there's very good reasons for all of that we're going to learn about. So whole half is the fully diminished, and the half whole is the dominant diminished scale. Some other things about them, let's see, next thing we can kind of consider are that they are not very common. They're very rare, so we're just going to say that they're very rare. These are not the kind of scales that are going to be considered like your daily drivers. Your majors, your minors, your pentatonics, those are your daily drivers. These scales are like salt or pepper, or maybe even better yet, they're like habanero sauce. You want to use it very sparingly and very rarely, few and far between. Okay, but it's really nice to have that in your toolkit. It's really nice to have that when you want it. Every once in a while you go, man, there's only one thing in the world that sounds like a diminished scale, and well, that happens to be a diminished scale. It's one thing in the world that gives you that sort of feeling. Finally, number 5 is, where are they used? Well, they're going to be used in jazz, is a very common place where you're going to find them at. You'll also find them in classical music. Classical music tends to be sort of a higher order of music, especially when you compare it to things such as rap or pop or hip hop or something like that. It's very much a higher level order of music. There's a lot of thinking that goes on in, and so it's a very intelligent form of music. Jazz, classical, and surprisingly, you actually would find it in heavy metal. And the reason why is because the way that it sounds, and diminished scales sound eerie. You could say that they sound spooky, or you could also, that's a Y, isn't it? You could also say that they sound unresolved. So there's your 10,000 foot view of diminished scales. In our next video, we are going to learn how to build the fully diminished scale first, and then we'll take a look at how to build a dominant diminished scale. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you've really enjoyed what you've seen so far, please just go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. It'll help keep us going so we can put out more great content for you.